Yo, yo! What's good, everyone? How's everybody doing? I'm Kellin, and I'm taking over the Never Take It Off Instagram. I'm just hanging out here outside, getting some oxygen because I've been cooped up inside for like 4 days when it was raining, and I couldn't go outside, and I was losing my damn mind. So I'm outside getting some oxygen. How's everybody else feeling on the lockdown? Is everybody doing all right? I'm good. Kelsey, thanks for asking. Rudy's giving me a thumbs up. Yes, you know my name. I appreciate that. Thank you. God bless you. Hey, Kellin. Yup. Hi, Kellin. Hope your family's doing well. My family's doing great, Sammy. Thanks for asking. I bleached my hair, said Bashy Soli. She bleached your hair. Congratulations. My family is driving me crazy. I couldn't agree more, Ash. I love my family, but yes, we're all going a little stir crazy. Cool. So what I was going to do on the Instagram was I was going to talk about a couple stories where I myself felt just kind of like giving up to an extent, because I feel like the whole beauty behind Never Take It Off is this pact, right, that we make with each other to not give up and to fight for each other and hold each other accountable. That's what I love about the jewelry and the bracelets, is that you put it on and you make a promise to yourself, your friend that gave it to you, even some of us artists that design it, that you're gonna like do your best to fight and to stay strong. And so I thought I'd share a couple stories, because I think that sometimes you guys feel like we as artists are invincible, and that's hardly the case. So one of my stories was we were overseas, and we were on tour with Pierce the Veil, and we were playing some festivals around the same time. And for some reason, because the body is just crazy, I never really had like a full-blown anxiety panic attack. I've had anxiety where I felt uneasy or uncomfortable, but never to the point where I was like thinking that, you know, a part of me would die or I would like not be able to recover. What happened was we flew over and we were rehearsing in Amsterdam for a little bit before we started this tour with Pierce the Veil. And for some reason, as soon as we landed, like I napped and then I was awake. And then that first night after rehearsals, there's a bunch of technical stuff that was going wrong, and it made me feel really anxious for some reason, because like it happens all the time. So I don't know why this instance did. Maybe it was the jet lag or whatever. But I didn't sleep that night, and I woke up and I'd gone a couple nights without sleep, so it wasn't like a huge deal. But we were doing like acoustic performances at the meet and greet, and I was like really nervous to be around people. I didn't want to be around anyone, probably from my lack of sleep. We played the show. The show went okay. I felt a little bit easier about everything that was going on, but that night I couldn't go to sleep. So that's 2 nights without sleep. Then we played a festival, and I can't remember which one it was. I think it was like Download or something like that. And we get to the festival, didn't sleep that night, get off the bus, walking around the festival, hanging out, try to take a nap, couldn't take a nap. We are getting settled for the next show, couldn't sleep that night. I ended up going like 4 days without sleep. And at that point, I was like really freaking out. I was like, I don't know how I'm going to perform. I don't know what I'm going to do. I ended up having to have like one of the nurses from Download bring me like a tranquilizer that actually forced me to go to sleep. And we had to cancel that performance that night. And the band was talking about whether or not I should go home or stay on tour. And so I remember waking up from being tranquilized and just being like out of my mind and not knowing what was going on. Thank God we had a day off that next day. And I made the decision to stay on the tour because I just started meditating and I started getting myself into a place where my head, I felt, was like able to carry on. But I guess the point of my story Can you guys hear me now? Sorry. Can you hear me? It says no sound. waiting for someone to be like, yeah, I can hear you. How about now? My hand's not covering the mic anymore. Okay, I got a yup. Yep, we can. Okay, cool. Anyways, what I was saying was, through that anxiety panic attack, I figured out ways to better myself by doing meditation, making sure that I was getting ample amounts of sleep, and realizing what a panic attack, anxiety attack was. I think once we make things real and we go, okay, I know what this is, then it's not as scary anymore. But when you experience it for the first time, it's terrifying. So I know exactly how it feels when you guys are like, hey, I'm having really bad anxiety at a show, or my friend had to leave because they were having an anxiety attack. And I'm here with you guys, and I understand that. And that's why I wrote a lot about that on our new album, because it's something that I was experiencing in the last few years of my life. Also, I think that when it comes to depression and feeling down and upset, it's really easy to be super hard on ourselves and to feel like we're the only ones going through it. And I want to let you guys know that just your stories that you shared with me have made me feel less alone. And I'm so happy that we have a community and a family that we can be honest with each other. I try really, really hard to just be as open and honest with you guys about how I'm feeling. Even on stage, there's been nights where I've been like, yo guys, I'm feeling real sad or depressed or bummed or whatever. But you guys usually bring me out of it, and I just want to be open and honest as much as possible. So I love y'all. That's my story. I'm going to answer some questions. If you guys have anything that you want to talk to me about, that would be awesome. If you guys want to talk about some pieces you would love for myself and never take it off to create for y'all, totally awesome to answer that as well. And let's just chat. I'm into it. I live you, someone said. Yeah, I'm never going to be able to live that one down. By the way, check out this beanie. I love Belmont. What do we got? Yeah, someone is definitely cutting their grass. I saw someone comment and say someone's cutting their grass. They are. Malden 11. Thank you. Yeah, I think it's important that we're open about mental health. It's a real thing. So what's the point of like pretending that you're this super strong, invincible person when it's not the case? Oh, you got Belmont sweatpants? Rebel Creators, it says. That's freaking awesome. I wanted to grab a pair of those sweatpants, but I didn't get a chance to get them. But I ended up like taking so much of their merch on our tour that I felt pretty awful about it. Someone asked, what do you do when you have to get a song done and you don't feel motivated? The answer to that question is you don't work on a song unless you're motivated. Nothing good will happen. You'll never be connected to it in a positive way to where you're going to want to share it with anyone. So if you're not inspired to write that day, it's totally okay to just be like, hey guys, I'm not inspired today. I'm not feeling it. I'm going to go find a way to become inspired and come back writing what, you're meant to do. I think that anytime you force something, it's just not going to work at all. Someone asked, how hard is it to be away from your wife and kids? And then how amazing is it to come home? Yeah, that's a great question. It's really tough to be away from your family. I feel like we get in survival mode, me and my family. So when I leave at first, there's a lot of conversating that happens. And then like a few weeks into tour, we just kind of accept the fact that we have to just be strong and get through it. And what'll happen is we don't communicate as well as we should. And that's something that we've realized while being home, being forced to be home this time. And just making the effort to spend time on FaceTime and talk to each other, whether you're feeling into it or not. I mean, when I'm on tour and I'm talking to people all the time, performing and singing and talking to my band and being surrounded by people on the bus and just even just being like at a show or dealing with all that, sometimes I don't want to talk to anyone when it's all done. And I feel like my family suffers for that sometimes. So I've been making it a real huge effort to just be present whenever I can and call my family members when I don't feel like talking to them and just try to communicate the best I can. Some things that are keeping me busy, Angelina. Yes, that's what it is. During the quarantine is a couple things. I've been working on some music stuff that I'm really, really happy about. Something that's a little bit different than Sirens. That's been really, really cool and fun to kind of expand my mind and work on other things. Plus, I've been doing some guest vocal stuff and working with other artists. That's been really cool. Setting up my home studio, learning how to record vocals properly and stuff from home instead of having someone else do it, which has been really, really rewarding. I've been doing artwork. I have an iPad Pro, so I've been learning how to do like digital art, which I don't know why I've never gotten into before. I've been in analog mode with canvases, and as much as I love painting on canvas and doing it the old school way, it is really fun to be on this program called Procreate and draw and use different textures. It's a lot of fun. So I've been doing that, and then also just trying to expand myself and do different things other than music and art. I've been thinking about creating a kids book series that teaches younger kids the importance of things while still being entertaining, because my daughter's always asking me to read her books, and some of them I find to be really uninteresting, and I wanted to create a really fun children's book line. So I think that I'm going to start writing that in the next few days, and I have my friend Giselle, who does artwork stuff, who might be working on the artwork for me, which could be really, really cool. So, let's see. Am I going to give away or sell any of my new art? Yes. So that's a great question. I've been sending them to the people that subscribe on Veeps, and I will at some point, like when I'm finished with the series, I will post them all and just give them to you guys. If you want to print them, you can. Like, I'm not trying to sell them right now. I'm just trying to give anybody just something that they can just have. I feel like you guys already do so much for all of us in the music industry, and I know that everyone's struggling right now, but everyone's struggling right now, and I don't feel the need to ask you to buy anything. I would just like to give you something to just kind of lift you up and make you feel good during this time. So FV_GNP. You are going to want to read them because they're going to be really fun. Just because they're kids' books doesn't mean that adults can't enjoy them either. So it's going to be a lot of fun. Someone asks, it's Kellin Cuteness Quinn asks, do I smoke? I used to smoke cigarettes. I don't smoke anymore. I haven't smoked for years. And I didn't really care about my health. I didn't really care about what I put in my body a while ago, but over like the last 2 or 3 years, I've been really conscious about putting good things in my body, because I think that you can't have good mental health if you're not taking care of your physical body as well. So exercise, just eating right, and not drinking alcohol for me has been really huge. And then also obviously not smoking cigarettes. Cigarettes are terrible and they make you smell like shit, so don't smoke. It's bad. And weed. I don't really smoke weed, Alyssa. Justin does. I know that everyone knows that. I have smoked weed before, but for me, I think that it's like I like to be in control of myself, like my body and stuff like that. And even like weed makes me feel weird. So if I ever do smoke it, I literally just go to my bunk or my bed and I just zone out and watch TV, and then I end up eating like really shitty food. So I try not to smoke either. Ellie, what's good? I'm very excited to come back to the UK. Miss you guys. Someone asked how my family was during this time. We're all doing really good. We're following the guidelines and staying home. And it's been, the only hard part about that has just been our kids being bummed that they can't see their friends and cousins and family and stuff. And we just try to do our best to explain it. We're very open about what's going on. I think that with younger kids, if you don't explain what's going on, then it's harder for them to understand. But if you're like, hey, there's a sickness going around and people aren't doing well, then they seem to understand it. And schools have been giving assignments where they're kind of having kids talk about what's going on and write about it. So that's been nice. Copeland's really funny. She yells at other family members and other people that we know that are going out and not doing the best at social distancing. She'll literally call them and like bitch them out, which is really, really funny. She's like, you must stay home. You can't be going out. You're going to get the virus. And it's just hilarious. She cares and she keeps everybody on point. So Jersey, miss you for sure. My favorite Sleeping with Sirens song. Leave It All Behind is definitely one of my favorite newer Sleeping with Sirens songs. If I had to pick an old Sleeping with Sirens song, it would be either If You Can't Hang or Fire. And we haven't played Fire a lot in a while, so I definitely want to play that. And then also listening back through our first album, I think You Kill Me in a Good Way could be a song that makes the set list again, because I miss playing that one as well. Let's see. Someone asked any advice for people that want to work in the music industry or be in the industry. Yeah, my best piece of advice is to, number one, have a dream. Believe that you can make it happen and just work really hard. Outwork anybody else. Work hard, grow. Don't ever get stuck or settled in one particular place. Make sure that you're growing your creativity and studying other artists. And when you hear the word no, or if a door shuts, just keep working hard. Don't take that as a reason to give up. Take it as motivation to just keep working hard. How do you decide what songs go on the set list? That's a great question. Usually Jack decides what songs go on the set list. He loves doing that. So he'll decide a group of songs that he thinks will do well in a set list. And then I usually go in and either add or take some away. Jack has a tendency to put like all the fast, heavy songs on a set list and not make room for anything like ballady or anything like that. So I kind of have to throw those ones in there. And but he does a really good job. He loves doing it, and it takes a weight off my shoulders because I have a lot going on here. And not to say that he doesn't have a lot going on, but he has more time during the day to kind of put stuff like that together. Gabby wanted to know if I ever feel like giving up on music. No. Music is a massive part of my life and part of my being, and I don't think I could ever give it up. I have thought about slowing down on the touring side of things and spending more time working from home and creating things from home, which I'm getting the opportunity to do right now, and I actually really love it, but I do miss tour, so I don't think that I would ever be able to fully quit touring either. Maybe tour a little less, but I'll always end up doing music, and it's something that I'll always have in my life, for sure. I Am Cheska wants to know, would you ever wear eyeliner? I actually did wear eyeliner in this ghost video that's supposed to come out at some point. And it's really funny because my wife told me that I look really pretty. Like, I look, I guess, girly, which is whatever. But it was for an effect for the video, and it's like kind of smoky eyes because it's kind of a darker song. It's supposed to be like haunting. So yeah, I did wear it in there, and I think it looks cool. So we'll see when it comes out. But I would never wear it like all the time. I just feel like that's one of those things you have to like start off doing and just keep going. It's not something you can just start doing and be like, yo, I'm gonna wear eyeliner now. I just don't think that works. So are you thinking about dyeing your hair again? Not blonde. I'll tell you that much. That was one of the harder hair transformations I've had to go through. And when it was all done, my hair felt god-awful every day, and it drove me nuts. I like having dark hair. I think it suits me better. I did like having blonde for a little bit. It was cool, but it was a lot of work and a lot of conditioning treatments and stuff. So, and on stage, it would look really, really fluffy unless I got it soaking wet. So I had to just get my hair wet before going on stage all the time. So, Angel wants to know, how would you describe the music that you typically create? I don't know. That's a great question. With Sirens, I feel like there's a specific formula, but we're trying to kind of keep what we did with our last album, but also expand upon it. And then when it comes to creating other stuff, I just have things that I like to listen to, that I like to emulate and kind of mess with. So for instance, when I was talking about creating some new stuff, like I love this band Crosses, which is Chino from Deftones' side project, and also his other project, Team Sleep. And what it is it's basically like a dreamier, darker Postal Service, and that's something that I'm kind of making right now. I wanted to make an EP where it's something you could put on at nighttime while you're driving or while you're chilling and just have it in the background, something kind of haunting but also pretty. And that's something that I'm working on right now, which I really, really love. I have like one song that I've created that I'm really happy with, and I'm going to get like 5 or 6 more songs and hopefully put out some sort of EP. Depending on how quickly I can get it done, we'll see. Maybe we'll still be on lockdown and I'll just throw it out for digital release so you guys can have it. I'm going to answer a couple more questions, guys, and then I'm going to get back to finishing up homework with Copeland. Do I listen to my own music on my downtime? Someone said. The answer to that is no. What I do is, and like I said, like when I put on With Ears to See and Eyes to Hear the other day, because it was the 10-year anniversary, it was like the first time I had listened to it in years. What happens when you write music and when you're in the studio and you listen to it over and over and over again and make sure that it's perfect before it goes on a record, is you listen to those songs constantly to the point where you don't want to listen to them anymore, because they just get really, really old to you as a creator. Plus, it's weird to listen to your own voice when you sing. Like a lot of singers will say they don't like their own voice. I don't mind my voice. I just don't. I prefer to listen to other stuff, because if I listen to my own music, I'll pick it apart and I'll find things that I don't like or whatever, things that I wish that I could change. So I don't really listen to my music. When it's done, I kind of put it aside and that's it. I love performing it live though. Giselle, what's up? I was talking about you earlier. What do I think of the new All Time Low? I was actually going to listen to that whole album today. I'm really excited. I've heard a couple singles because Zach, who produced the record, also did our album. So I'm excited to spend the afternoon listening to it. Kelsey SWS wants to know what my favorite TV series is. Right now, I'm like really into Ozark. Really into it. I'm just starting season 2. Season 1 was crazy. I think Game of Thrones was my favorite series to watch of all time. And I really like Westworld. So Westworld, Ozark, and Game of Thrones. Break Your Halo wants to know, who do you listen to the most? Well, honestly, I listen to Belmont a lot. Whenever I go running or do anything as far as like exercise or activity, that's like one of the main bands I listen to. If I'm listening to anything heavy, it's usually Counterparts. I really love Biffy Clyro. I've been listening to them a lot. I got into them like recently, like last year, I think. So I've listened to their albums constantly. And what else? Is there anything else that I'm missing? I think that's pretty much it. I stick to like what I know. I like to go back and listen to old albums that I really loved when I was younger. And so Story of the Year, Page Avenue is something that I revisited the other day, which I really loved. If you haven't heard that album, make sure you check it out. But yeah, Counterparts, Belmont, Biffy, and today I'm going to be listening to the new All Time Low. So, by the way, who else is jealous of Alex Cathcart's goats that he has? I've been wanting to get a goat my whole life, like a mini goat. And the fact that he has a couple makes me really, really jealous. Hopefully someday I can have a place that has a little bit of land where I could have a goat that runs around. Peppermint wants to know, what does Copeland think of my music? She actually likes most of it now. When I'm working on a song, if it gets stuck in her head and she's singing it, like when I'm not noticing, then I know that I've got something good. She's kind of my good luck charm when it comes to that. I'm going to answer 2 more questions, guys, and then I'm going to take off. Thank you so much for hanging out on the Never Take It Off Instagram. They always have amazing deals going on and awesome products for you guys, and I really enjoy what they're about. That's why I'm a part of it. And I know that all the other artists that are a part of it agree. And we have some really cool stuff coming out soon. Something new, something a little bit different design-wise. I can't wait to share it with you. And that's my plug for Never Take It Off. Somebody wants to know, do you listen to Point North songs? Yeah, I do. I'm on one of their songs. And London actually did a lot of production on our album, How It Feels to Be Lost, and that's how I got introduced to them. I think they're very, very good. Talented. Love them. What bands would you like to collab with in the future? That's a really good question. There's a lot of people that I'd love to collaborate with. But if I had to specifically pick a couple, I would say I would love to work with Cheeto from Deftones. I would love to work with Keith Buckley. Every Time I Die. I would like to work with my homie Son Real, who is a really, really talented hip-hop artist. I would like to work with Lizzie Farrell. I think that she's incredibly talented, and I would love to work with her. Who else? Anthony Green would be amazing. Would love to work with Anthony Green. And I think that's it for now. Someone asked if the next album is going to be even more heavy than the last. I would assume so, especially with everything that's going on and just kind of the way society's feeling about life and just kind of helpless. I think that there's a lot of angry songs to come, some heavier ones. But yeah, like I said, I think that we found like our formula that works with Leave It and Agree to Disagree and Break Me Down, and we really like the way those songs feel. So we're gonna just kind of like, I think, get a little bit more technical on the music side. I've been kind of making Jack think outside the box as far as being a little bit more shreddy on guitar, and yeah, I'm constantly gonna grow lyrically and melodically, but we're gonna stick to being a heavy band. So thank you guys so much for hanging out with me. I love y'all so much. I hope you had fun doing this. Make sure you leave Never Take It Off a lot of comments today. Let them know you care about them and the community that they built. And yeah, that's it from me. Love you. Take care. Have a good rest of your day. We'll see you very, very soon. Peace.